Hey Dipswitch, it's Game Changer here. So let's have a little look at these units. Really pleased with how you're coming on. I'd be kind of looking at this Alpha platoon and probably just be dropping at least one, maybe two of the Macabre. I think what you need to be looking at there is probably a better sort of mix. The Macavers don't really have much firepower. You will find that the M270 is probably where the firepower is. Now, to be fair, you could probably ditch the I forget those fucking Cougars, whatever they are. They came kind of came after me really. So yeah, go for maybe one, maybe two Macavers at most. A bit more M270, and then if you need some anti-air, you really probably could look at your maxed Humvee. Would probably work quite well. Zeus was always my favourite at this sort of low level. Zeus is often missed and forgotten about, but it's an absolute fantastic anti-air system, and that would be my favourite. I think what's happening here in your Alpha is because you're kind of going in with the tanks. It's trying to like hit with a sledgehammer. You're trying to survive as opposed to thrive. You're not perhaps packing the punch. So Macabre is only there as a distraction, to kind of maybe strafe across somebody's base to maybe lock on with the peacemakers and the howitzers and things along that sort of line, while the M270 does the damage. You just need obviously additional air support really, which I think is what you're using the Cougars for. But for me, one, possibly two M270s, and going forward, M270s. Macabre. I'd also be getting this Mantis in as well. I mean, the Mantis as a low level unit. I mean, my absolute favourite of all time was one Macabre, one high level Mantis, and bear in mind you can get level 15 now. All M270s and some Zeus as an anti-air, and as a low level player it was just unstoppable if you like that sort of heavy platoon. Fob's fantastic, really good. Defense stat as well, absolutely brilliant, mate. Probably want to see a bit more Fob coming out. I think that would be really key. I think as well I'd probably start weaning off the Avenger and concentrate on the Reaper. But I do like an all Humvee attack platoon. I think they're absolutely superb. And it looks like you've got the Zeus in here, so get that Zeus max. Why not? Don't so much go for the Ontos. The Striker definitely though, because Striker will be a really good sort of vehicle, and start to bring in the BMP now as well, because the BMP will replace your Humvee as your kind of next light vehicle platoon, and then obviously you'll move to Bradley as well. I did actually work on Ontos in partnership with BMP, and found that really effective. But I know it's not necessarily the way that we do these things now. Do have a little think about this platoon here. So for me, probably go three Macabres as your sort of best at this moment in time defence. I don't think the Cougar in there really is necessary. And if you look, 18, 20, so that's what, 38 seconds, and then another 36 seconds after that is quite a long time for these spawns. So maybe have a look at that for us if you can. Loving the Ghost, Ghost Sniper rather, but I think personally I would go all Sniper in there. I don't think there's any need for that next unit in the middle there. I think Rifleman, I think it is. So I would be ditching that if you could. Charlie Platoon. Again, maybe. I mean, if you've got your Guardian unlocked, I don't think there's any need to have the Cobra in there. To be perfectly honest with you, if anything, I found that maybe one Hind and all Guardian was probably more sufficient. But Cobra, just when you've got Guardians there, there's really no need for the Cobra in any way, shape, or form. So I'd be getting them ditched. They're just probably going to cost you oil damage, really. Now, in terms of the unit there. I do forget its name, but it's in your airfield there. It's level 3 at the moment. What's it called? Thunderbolt. I don't work on that. It's not probably going to be needed. Really stick with Avengers from now on, really. So, kind of keep with that, really. Mi-28 here. You could upgrade that a little bit to be, quite a decent defender, and then that's probably the only helicopter you need in defence, really, until you get to much higher levels, because none of them really do any particular good, but that's as good as any. And you could partnership that with your Guardians if you feel that you need something in front to give them a bit more support. So no further work on the Reaper. Ditch them, really. I want to see you weaned off those completely, and certainly not having those in your defence either, because they're just not that good compared to the Avenger. The Avenger probably as a defensive system will do you absolutely perfect all the way up to Nemesis, really. So I think I'd probably ditch these Reapers in your defence. I mean, why would you still need them? I'm not quite sure. So Mi-28 for me, not necessary for every player, but for me, I would upgrade that and get that in your defence, slot 1, slot 2, slot 3. Ditch the Cobra. It's had its day. You do not need it. You've already got a more superior system. If you haven't got Guardians, all its tech, do look at some of the higher helicopters. I think the Mi-28, for example, has one of the units that the helicopter shares. If you can't unlock, I think it's the what do they call it? It's one of the crews, isn't it? I think the crew level 3 or something along that sort of line. Do look at some of the higher helicopters. I'm pretty sure it's in the Mi-28, just in case you haven't got the Guardians fully maxed. Snipers, obviously, all the way. Get rid of the soldiers there. I mean, you know yourself, you're never going to be troubled if 10 10 riflemen or whatever these called come out here. That's really not going to cause you any trouble. And going forward, you will need the AGS team obviously max, because obviously that'll be part of your FOBs going forward, but also the Force Recon. Again, keep working on that, because that'll be part of your FOBs going forward. So that's well worth looking at. So the main things for me is I would probably have why not go with that Zeus? Get that Zeus up upgraded, and then obviously bring that into your platoon Alpha. One Macabre, one high-powered Mantis, and do get this Mantis upgraded, because it's absolutely fucking ridiculously good. And I'm still using it at CC11 in the Elite Spec Ops map. So that tells you how good a unit that is. So fucking Mantis all the way. So Macabre, get that in your first slot. Get a maxed Mantis in there. Get 2 rounds of M270, and then Zeus to follow, because that will give you an absolutely fantastic platoon Alpha if you're into the heavies. Platoon Bravo, I think you've start to need to come off these and go more to the BMP. I think that will be a far better system, and certainly you've got that unlocked now. So get that in there as well as and. Yeah, we've discussed the defenders in that one. Snipers we've discussed in that one. Charlie we've discussed. Ditch the Cobra. So overall, mate, you're doing absolutely superb. Some really good progress. Really pleased with you. Take care, man.